Hey guys, it's Kempy here with C Mack for another edition of the Burrow Podcast. And of course, yesterday we went down 45-26 to the New Zealand Warriors in front of a decent sized crowd of just over 19,000. And I want to welcome C Mack from across the ditch. This one hurt you, didn't it, mate?
Yeah, definitely did and definitely does. I'm feeling it a little bit today, not going to lie. Pretty gutted, to be honest. I mean, I spoke during the week about how much this game meant to me and yeah, kind of, I don't know, meant everything. Like it was one of the biggest games of the season for me. And yeah, just to not get the result. When I really thought that we were genuinely a chance to have a big statement win. Yeah, it's pretty guttering for me as a Kiwi, to be honest. So yeah, I am feeling it a bit today, not going to lie.
I think it highlighted the gap between us and the top three teams right now. And
That's fair.
Look, there's two sides to the game yesterday, the attack and defence, and I think our attack is good enough to beat anyone. Our problem is our defence. And more importantly, yesterday it was our kick defence.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. Like looking at it realistically, as you say, it does kind of show that, you know, we're a good bottom of the 8 side, but we're just not quite at that level yet, are we? You know, whether that could change in coming weeks, you know, it might not change till next year, who knows, but that's the reality of it. It was a little bit of a reality check last night. We're just not quite there. And yeah, I mean, our attack was on song, you know, we were cutting them to shreds in that middle part of the game, but as you say, just our defence, particularly through the middle, I thought that was really, really poor. The Warriors pack definitely got on top of us there and poured through the middle, and yeah, we just couldn't hold them defensively. And yeah, the kick defense was terrible, and that was, those two things right there were the difference in the end, weren't they?
Yeah, but let's talk about the kick defenses. We had a defusal rate of 50% to their 69%, and the 4 tries were off kicks. 4 of their tries were off kicks. Twice we competed for it, and they won the challenge there, and then they were able to keep the one where they were able to keep the play along for Dalmatin Zelezniak's try. And the early one, Halasima, where he out jumped Campbell Graham and was able to fight his way over and score that try, their second try as well. But the one that stood out to me was the one that I think this killed the game for us. We were coming back strongly. We had the ascendancy, and we just let the ball bounce. Bud Sullivan kind of stood there and watched it, and part of me understands it, but then there's that saying, you let the ball bounce, you're inviting trouble, aren't you?
Yeah, anything can happen, and I cannot believe in that situation that we let the ball bounce, especially Bud Sullivan. Like, he was right there, man. He was right there, and then he just goes like that and lets the ball bounce right in front of him. Like, I don't really blame.
More perfect, could it? For the Warriors.
Exactly. He was right there, and yes, he had defenders sort of bearing down on him, but they weren't going to compete with him. Like, it would have just been a simple catch for him straight up. So I cannot believe we let that bounce. And as you say, that was it, really. Like,
it killed all the momentum.
Exactly. We're down by 6, and look, if that doesn't happen, I sort of think that anything could happen because we did have all the momentum, but yeah, that just completely killed it, and that was the game. So, look, I'm gutted that we just fell apart and dropped our bundle in moments like that. It's guttering.
Yeah, well, the other thing I want to point out is if you watch that again, you'll see Matt Duffy. He raced to get to that bounce, and it probably was his undoing. It's funny because you look at it, and had he maybe not running as hard, he would have been able to tackle the player and stop that try. He would have been able to stop it then and there, and it would have been turnover. And the thing was, it wasn't a great kick.
No, not at all.
And it was very short. And had we get the ball there, 6 points down, we got the ball on our own 30-metre line first tackle. And the way we were cutting open their right side defence with Cody Walker, the magician, with AJ, and we were exposing them quite often down that side. AJ, five line breaks all up. And we knew it. Once Zelezniak went off injured, we knew it. We knew that was a weakness there for them, and we exposed it. And that was great. And at one stage, it looked like this is going to happen because we had all the ascendancy. They scored first in the second half, and we'll talk about the first half in a second, but they scored first in the second half, and I'm like, oh, here we go again. But then 3 tries within 12 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, look, I'm super proud of that. I mean, that period and the way that we were attacking was honestly some of the best footy we've played this year. And for me, like, again, it's moments in the game, and it wasn't consistent enough throughout the 80 minutes. But, those moments show that we can match it with the top teams and some of the top defenses of the competition. As you say, like, we were cutting them to pieces, and it
5
looked
tries
like,
we scored.
Yeah, it looked
5
like every
tries
time
against the Warriors.
every time we went left, it didn't matter where we were on the field. It looked a real danger, and they found it really hard to contain us. So, look, when we got within 6 points, I was, I'd been a bit down throughout the game before that, but I really started to believe then. And yeah, as you say, we had all the momentum. When they put that kick up, I think there was still like 16 minutes or something to go, so still plenty of time. But yeah, just to let that bounce and have all your hard work kind of go to waste was inexcusable. And the other thing about that play that I wanted to highlight was, the lack of kick pressure as well. Like, it felt like Harris Tavita had all the time in the world to kick that ball. Was it Harris Tavita or Hansen? Yeah, I can't remember. But
all game, it was the same case. Very rarely did we put kick pressure on him. But look, it's something we need to work on if we're going to make a dent in the finals.
Oh, it's been an Achilles heel all season, really, hasn't it? Our kick defence, and little moments like that with kick pressure and kick chase and stuff like that. It's just hasn't quite been there all season, really.
There was 2 of their tries I want to talk about, and their first try to Fisher Harris and was it Harris Tavita that scored the long range one? Where they got through and they drew him past.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Sure,
Who was it that made that break? It was a beautiful offload by him.
It was one of the younger guys, wasn't it? Was it?
Yeah.
I forget his name.
Well,
now
that was actually a great tackle by Dufty, and it almost killed it. But it was just an unbelievable offload that it was just perfect. But what I want to talk about, you see Wade Egan for the Fisher Harris try, and I forget who it was for the Warriors that threw the pass for the line break. But if you look at their eyes where they were looking to go. The way they were looking, it looked like they were going out the back.
Mm.
Now, our players seem to fall for that.
Yeah.
And look at the eyes rather than concentrate on the immediate threat. Both times were caught out. It was very great work by Egan. He did the same thing. If you look at it, look at where he's looking. He knew what he was doing, but he's looking out the back, and everyone fell for it.
Yeah, exactly. When you look at Jaden Sullivan on that break, definitely fell for it, didn't he? I mean, he wasn't even really looking at the ball carrier, so that was a bit disappointing. But yeah, I mean, we spoke about it during the week that Wade Egan was going to be a big threat, and I sort of said that I think he's a bit underrated, and he's genuinely playing at that sort of origin caliber. And you saw it last night, like with the Fisher Harris try. I mean, yeah, that's tough to defend, but I still feel like in that moment, like that's 2 of our starting front rowers, Keon and Junior, defending there. Like it's still
but if they had read that and seen him as the immediate threat, they stopped that.
Yeah, exactly.
They
so
stopped
crafty
that.
from Egan, very crafty from Egan. The other try talking about, I guess once that break was made there and the offload was amazing, there probably wasn't too much we could do after that, but it's disappointing to let them in the first place. And that was off the back of I think just before that, our set before that was Tallis on the last tackle. We'd made a little bit of a break there and had a real chance to do something out to the right. We were all set out to the right, but Tallis decided to go by himself on the last
side.
Tackle.
Yeah, and that's the thing that twice he got caught with the ball on the last. The second time, I don't blame him as much, but again,
there was a chance.
The lack of awareness that he has playing in the centres. This is the problem when you don't have a proper centre there, because they have more awareness. And you look at the difference between him, you look at the difference between AJ, and AJ sums up the situation so perfectly.
Yeah.
And we've seen it with the Cody Walker try.
Oh, that was incredible, wasn't it? How good was that? Seriously.
It was a perfect kick. It just bounced up perfectly for Cody. I don't know whether he was offside or not. Maybe he was, but
he was sweet.
It was very, very hard to tell anyway. But
yeah, Yeah, but great try, man. That was the highlight of the game for me. Like, just that was incredible attack, and that's another thing that's underrated about AJ. I mean, there's been a number of times throughout his career that he's kicked back on the inside with that kick off the outside of the boot and laid one on, and yeah, it's great to see him lay on a try for Cody. I mean, he owes Cody for probably 50 or 60 of his tries, so great to see him get one back.
I think it's something like about 70 now,
something like that. So,
but it just shows the difference between someone that's in a specialised position that know their role, know what they need to do, and look, I know that wasn't last, but he always sums up really well. Whereas Tallis, even the second time, he had time to kick, or he had time to try and throw a pass or whatever, but the way he summed it up was like, that's it, I'm going to just die with the ball here.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's seen the first time.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It doesn't even matter if you're not a specialist centre or whatever, like, that's just dumb footy, like every player knows.
The first one was dumb. It was just, and he's got to own that, because we had them on the back foot. We just scored a try not long before that to Jack White, where he outleapt them. And with Campbell Graham up against what's his name, buddy, Pereira, it was a mismatch, and Cody was screaming for the ball, and Cody was looking to put that kick across, and who knows? We score there, it's a totally different game. Instead, we find ourselves down, and in the end, we're down 26-4 at half time, and that penalty just before half time I want to talk about.
Was it 26-8 at half time?
Sorry, 26-8. Sorry, you're right. Sorry, we did. Of course, AJ scored. So 26-8, and that penalty just before half time.
Yeah,
what do you make of it?
Oh, mate, I'm really not happy with that one. Like, what is Campbell Graham supposed to do there? Like, you're allowed to take up a position.
Well, he cleared him of that, but he said the player ran behind him. Look, I get it. If you can't use the player to gain an advantage, but Campbell Graham was pushed.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Like, Campbell Graham's just taken up a position. Like, where is he supposed to go? It's not on him if a Warriors player decides to run into him and push him out of the way. But also, I kind of feel like that was a bit more. It was slightly infield to where Dufty actually was, So, look, in my opinion, that's not an obstruction. Like, what is Campbell Graham supposed to do there? So that was a bullshit call that, I was pretty unhappy with, to be honest.
Look, as I said, if Dufty used that to gain an advantage, I understand it. But to me, what happened was he was pushed. Campbell Graham was pushed in the back, so you can't push a player in the back.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
He only had eyes for the ball, whatever, and we made a break, and we got through, and then he called it penalty. Who knows what would have happened then? Dufty was away, and there was players in cover, but they would have been at 6 and 7s. But another thing I want to point out, we spoke about the try to the Warriors, to Harris Tavita's try, was it? We were talking about that one.
Yeah.
And you look at how they support each other, how well they were supporting each other.
Warriors,
whenever they made a break, they always had support for each other. Early in the game, was it Tallis that made a break?
Yeah, the one of the first, I think it was our second or third set, wasn't it? And no one with them in support.
Yeah, and those sort of things. Cam Murray made a break as well, and we weren't taking advantage of them early.
Yeah, that's where you need someone like Dufty or one of the halves always on the hip of the ball runner, through the middle or outside, because they can turn those little moments into something massive, isn't it? And look, I guess this is why, like, everything that we're talking about, this is why. Look, yes, we are playing a top tier side. The Warriors were great. Like, we can't take anything away from them. They were really, really good. But this is why, me, of course, we're always more critical of our team, but this is why I'm frustrated. I just felt like we lost the moments last night, and against the top teams, you've got to nail those moments if you want to be a chance. And I really feel like we didn't nail that. And also, we talked during the week that I felt like if we played as well as we did against the Dogs last week, and if we
defended as well as we did,
exactly, if we could back up that performance and actually show some consistency, exactly, if we could show some consistency with our defence, I said that I felt like we could have won the game, and yeah, it was really, really disappointing to not see us back that up and then go back into our old ways of not being able to play consistently throughout the 80 minutes. And yeah, our defence that's the biggest thing for me. I know again we're playing one of the best sides, but it just was not up to scratch through the middle. I mean, you look at their yardage sets compared to ours with the line, like their line speed and their aggression and first contact compared to ours. We did it for a few sets there, but we didn't maintain it throughout the game.
I want to point out something, and there's a reason for it, and I'll go into it. But the average set distance, how much of a gap do you think there would have been between the two sides?
Oh, over the average of the game, probably 10, 20 metres, something like that. I don't know. Was it pretty similar?
You're not going to get 20 metres per set, but no, you're looking at like, you'd think that 5 metres difference per set would be massive, right? The Warriors were averaging 42 metres per set, just over 42, about 42 and a half, and we were just over 41 metres per set.
Okay.
So it wasn't that big of a difference. But you also have to remember, a lot of those, we were making line breaks. We were passing the ball out wide, and our backs were making a lot of yards. Our back five, again, all made over 100 metres. None made over 150 this week, so you can see the big difference. But they all made over 100 metres again.
So that probably elevated the average set.
That's what I'm saying. That's the reason why. But in the end, to me, it doesn't matter. You play to your strengths to beat a side, and you expose their weaknesses, which is what we did really well.
We did.
We got to remember. We got to remember that this side, the Warriors, a few weeks ago, if you watch that game against Panthers, how well they belted them out of the game. They literally belted them out of the game, and they had a little bit of a comeback towards the end, Penrith, but the Warriors held on. But we scored 5 tries against this side.
Mm.
So we were good enough to see and expose parts of the game. There was 9 line breaks to 8 in our favour.
Yep. And it was a lot more of a discrepancy in that stat in that middle period of the game. Like, we were smashing them in the line breaks. And that is the big positive to come out of the game, isn't it? Like, I love this year that we've got a distinct style, and that's using the ball, those shifts out to both sides. I love that we're maintaining that in games, and we're still giving it a real crack. And look, it was scintillating, to be honest with you, and that gives me a lot of hope for future games, future big games, that, if we can just still attack like that and just nail a few of those other moments and get our defence a bit better, channel that Dogs game, well, then you just never know what might happen. But look, even as good as our attack was, we just gave ourselves too much to do, didn't we, with a few poor defensive things earlier in the game.
Look, we did, but again, we got ourselves back into the game. We got within 6, and that's the thing.
Boys never give up. They never give up. Definitely say that.
This is the 3rd time this year that we've scored 5 tries or more and lost. Yeah. And you're scoring 5 tries, you should be winning. You should be winning games. Again, it 100%. Highlights the problem we have defensively.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And that's what I'm trying to get at. Like, it's been a theme of a few of our losses this year, that we've gone to a massive deficit, fought back, nearly won, but left ourselves too much to do. So, I mean, conceding 45 points against anyone when you're a top 8 side, I don't care if they're a top side or what, it's just not good enough, is it? Like, that's just not acceptable, really.
Do you think this scoreline was an indication of the game, or do you think it was a lot closer than that?
Not at all. I think it was a lot closer than that, to be honest. I mean, when we got back to 6, I sort of felt like, okay, this is more a reflection of sort of where the game's at, because for a lot of it, we were actually kind of trading blow for blow with them. As I say, it was just those moments. We just lost too many of those moments, and that's why the deficit was so big in the end. So, no, I don't feel like that was a fair reflection of the game. Do you?
Well, when you consider it's 7 tries to 5, and it ends up being 19 points difference, it's kind of says something to you. It's like, wait, that doesn't seem right. And look, goal kicking, especially early on, but was it that bad?
No.
Like, he kicked 3 from 5. There was only one poor kick, because the first one he missed hit the post.
Yeah.
Then he got one from in front, but the other 2 out wide he nailed. So our goal kicking wasn't that bad, but for some reason lately, whenever someone kicks against us, they'll nail every conversion. They do not miss.
Yeah, Tane Tuapiki was on fire last night, wasn't he?
What is it? What is it? Like it was, what did he get, 8 from 8?
9 from 9.
9 from 9.
They had a penalty goal as well.
That's right. So,
yeah.
It's
crazy. It seems to happen every week, that we miss goals and the opposition just nails them. So just our luck. But
but I don't know.
I'm glad that I'm really glad that, I mean, it was in the back of my mind when we
actually
got
it was
to
8 from 8. It was 8 from 8.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah. I stand corrected.
There is a stat in our last 4 games that I seen on the Pride. It was Yobbo who pointed out. Last 4 games, we've kicked at something like 30% our goal kicking, whereas the opposition, 100%.
Yeah, that's crazy.
19 from 19.
It's as bad a run as it gets, really. I mean,
I think when you consider someone like Mitch Moses, who's been quite poor this year, especially from the sideline, he nails them all. He nailed 4 from 4 and from difficult range as well. You go, it's just not meant to be for us this year. Someone's against us.
Yeah, some kind of goal kicking curse. But look, I was just going to say before, it was in the back of my mind when we got to 6 points down. I was like, oh no, like goal kicking is going to cost us. I'm glad, I guess, in the end that it didn't, because that would have been even more excruciating. But look, it still didn't help. I mean, again, if we had got those 4 points and we were down by 2 at that stage, it's completely different again. So yeah, look, it's such a, honestly, it's a hard game to talk about, really, because I just have so many mixed feelings. Like, on the one hand, I'm devastated losing to the Warriors the way we did, but at the same time, I'm like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, we still pushed them all the way, and the scoreline wasn't reflective of the effort. So look, I think it's as simple as...
They gave us nothing. Gave us nothing.
Yeah, it's as simple as two sides to the game, really. Our attack was on, defense wasn't up to it, and that's the story at the end of the day, really.
Yeah, well, their completion rate was what was their completion rate? 89% to ours. Ours was 79%.
Yeah, so that's a big difference too.
Yeah, and they only conceded 1 penalty to our 4, whereas there was 5 4 ruck infringements and 1 inside 10. So
I guess that's something we haven't
really,
really...
right, because we conceded. That's right. No, we conceded the penalty. That's right. But do you think there's game management by the referees? Do you think yesterday highlighted game management by the referee?
Yep. I definitely think it
did.
To be honest with you,
where he pinged when we were a bit behind. He pinged the Warriors, right, and then all of a sudden he stopped again, and it wasn't like anything had changed.
Yeah, plenty of stuff for both sides that he let go earlier in the game, but then was pinging them and vice versa, And there's a lot of 6 against us as well that I literally was like, what for? Like, I don't understand what that was for. I mean, I can picture a couple down on our line. I was just saying to myself, what for? Like, I literally couldn't understand what for. So, yeah, I think honestly it's tinfoil hat stuff, but I honestly think
it's hard to kind of debunk that when you look at the periods of the game where they happen, and it's like they haven't changed what they were doing. They were still tackling like they were standing offside. But the one that got me, the 79th minute, the penalty for us being inside the 10 when they were camped on their line. And I just thought to myself, you've put your whistle away for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, and then suddenly
both teams are offside plenty of times. You could have pinged them for it so many times, but that's when you choose to ping a team. Yeah. And it was no different from anywhere else that happened. And I just kind of question, why are you all of a sudden bringing out your whistle now? What is it?
Yeah, I don't know. I'd love to sit Todd Smith down and like go through the game and be like, explain why you didn't call that, explain why you called that, But yeah, it's a tough one, and I know that some people say it's tinfoil hat sort of stuff, but it's not just our game, It's evident in every game. Like I've heard even Brandon Smith talk about it, I think, on the Buy Round podcast, that it feels like if one team gets to a big lead, well, then the ref starts hammering them to try and bring the game, back to a bit more even. So yeah, I think it was definitely happening last night, but it wasn't just against us either. I mean, there was a lot of stuff for both sides, in my opinion. But Yeah, the riffing wasn't great, but I still can't really bring myself to blame the ref for last night's
No,
performance.
it's not about. I'm just talking about.
I know you're not
the
saying
whole
that. I know
management of the
you're not blaming
game,
them, but
and I'm not just talking about him being against us. It's also the Warriors, because I'm just questioning, like, why are you? And we see it so often in games. Why are they refereeing the game one way, and then all of a sudden they start officiating it differently, and then they put their whistle away again? It's like, what's changed there that they were doing before? Why is that a penalty now, but it wasn't before? It's just, it's game management to me, and it's.
Yeah, I agree. But
I think a lot more people are seeing it as well.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's been talked about for a number of weeks now, and will continue to get talked about for a long time until it changes, But you sort of just going back to the completion rates and stuff that you alluded to just before. I guess that's one thing that we haven't really touched on yet either. Is a couple of errors from us that were massive in the context of the game, especially early on, like Matt Duffy with the drop ball, the Fisher Harris try comes off the back of that.
Yeah, why didn't we challenge that? That was punched out.
Exactly. It was played at by the Warriors, like knocked out by the Warriors, and they always call that a knock on if a player makes an attempt to play the ball and knocks it out. So I agree.
When there's two in the tackle, it would have been a penalty to us.
Yeah, exactly. But the other one is the Campbell Graham, just a clean drop when he could have made a little half break there, but he just dropped the ball, and then they score off the back of that as well. So you can't do that against a side like the Warriors, especially a side like them that are so good with their completions themselves, like, that are going to give you nothing. So, we couldn't afford to give them cheap stuff like that. So yeah, I know I might be being a bit hard on the boys, but it's moments like that really frustrate me,
I thought in the second half, there was a couple of errors that we made. One, I don't know what, again, another one, I don't know why we didn't challenge when Sean Kempy went to pass the ball back, and they called it a knock on. Maybe they wouldn't have overturned it. I don't know, but
I think there was a knock on personally. There's a second replay that showed it went forward and touched the Warriors players. So
yeah,
that was a big one as well. That kind of killed a bit of our momentum as well.
But we defended. What I'm trying to talk about is we were able to defend that second half. We were defending a lot better in those periods.
Yeah, for sure.
And while we had the momentum, our tails were up, and then because the next set, Jack White knocked on. But then we got the ball back again, so we defended our line again, which I thought this is good. But I also thought with the ref putting his whistle away, it became a grind, and that's not what we wanted. We didn't want a grind at that period. We tried to go out wide a few times, and the one that Matt Duffy
over the sideline, the selective execution, that one hurt.
Yeah, the ball goes to hand there. AJ's away again. We're down the other end of the field and possibly scoring a try. Who knows? And it's one of those things that it just wasn't meant to be for us.
Yeah, and that hurts. That hurts.
But I want to talk about AJ and his game.
Yeah, incredible again. Wasn't
5 line breaks, try assist. 2 tries. Equal top try scorer now with Tommy Jenkins. 28 tries for the season. And he's done that in 19 games. Tommy Jenkins is 22 games.
Yeah. I was talking about it to my partner this morning. We were sort of dissecting the game, and of course a lot of negativity, but I was like, we'll talk about the positives, babe, sort of thing. And she was kind of saying it's crazy that, it was 2:13 to break the record, and now all of a sudden he's on 2:38. It's absolutely insane. And he just seems to age like a fine wine. Really, he just gets better and better. So,
well, here's the thing, and this is something I was watching the Para Dolphins game the night before, and I was watching the Fox, and it's noticeable that his speed's dropped off now, and he's not the player he was. And whilst AJ had a lot of speed, he also had it between the ears. So he wasn't always relying on his speed. And for players that rely on speed, they always slow down. They're not as effective. But the way AJ sums up the play on the run, he knows, yep, I can beat him. No, I can't. He sums it up perfectly.
Better than anyone else. Best winger in the game at that.
And the most humble as well. See, him and Daniel Tupou, two of the top 3 try scorers of all time, they're very humble when they score tries.
Yeah.
They celebrate with the thing. You look at
No
Lockie
Christian
Khan-Pereira.
Tuipulotu doing the money celebration.
But even last night,
afterwards.
you look at Lockie Khan-Pereira when he scored, and you look at that try, he didn't have to dive. He didn't have to do the air dive, whatever, but he did it, and he made out that the try was better than it was. But all he did was exactly the things that everyone accuses AJ of doing. He caught the ball. It was great lead-up work, and he scored. But then he gets up and he layers up like, "Yeah, look at me, look how good I am." Celebrate with your teams, but learn a few things from from two of the best. Learn from them, and being humble when you score. Celebrate with your team.
Just the class of it, eh? Like that's what I love about him as well. But also, AJ was genuinely not just the try scoring stuff. He was still genuinely one of our best players in all areas last night. I felt like wasn't just that. His defense was pretty good, really. I know there's a couple of tries down there at that edge, but I don't think he could have done too much about either of those personally. Laying on the try for Cody, that was impressive. Yeah, so he was really, really good with his yardage carries too. So he just seems to get better and better all the time, doesn't he? So, but talking about some of our other performances individually in the side, who were some others that stood out to you?
Cody Walker. Yeah, Cody Walker was a magician, and
vintage Cody.
If he wasn't on the field, we don't even get close.
No, not at all.
That he did for the Talis Duncan try.
Both him and Dufty. How good was that?
Well, Dufty was the offload, and then he just summed it up. He just summed it up perfectly. And
it's like a volleyball bat on it. It's sort of like he spiked it like a volleyball.
He didn't whack it too hard. He whacked it perfectly to Talis, and then we're able to score. And he just summed the play up perfectly. He knew if he had caught it, there was no way he was going to be able to do that all in one play. But since he's come back from his suspension,
he's been incredible.
He has. He's been really good. He's been measured. Hopefully that keeps up, but yeah.
Do you think that
what about that ankle tap? Sorry, what about that ankle tap?
That was amazing as well. Big moment in the game too, in the first half. But what I was going to say is, do you genuinely think that this period right now is some of the best form of his career? Because I do. I genuinely think that's how good he's going.
I can't.
I'm not saying the best, but it's up there. Like,
look, it's vintage Cody, but I can't ever go. I still don't think it's the class, anywhere near the class of 2021 with Cody.
Of course. That
was just next level.
Yeah, he'll never get to that level. Like, he broke records for try assists that year, didn't he? So,
it was just unbelievable that year, and I don't think that. But
so I'd agree with you. Cody was one of my standouts as well. He had the ball on the string, was the main conductor down that left edge, pulling them to shreds. But the other one that I want to highlight for us, Cam Murray. Like, I can't speak highly enough of him, but he probably had a bit more of a sort of highlights game last night as well, like a couple of clean breaks there where he just ran straight through and just working his ass off again. And so he was up there for man of the match for me as well.
Yeah. Oh, look, I can't go past Cody, but Cody, AJ, Cam are all up there. And look, there was a few disappointing performances that I don't think they were anywhere near as good as they have been. But
Dave Fafita probably. I mean, the Warriors did a really good job to keep him.
They did a great job on him, but he was still dangerous.
Yeah, he tried hard. Yeah, they just did a good job on him. Keon was a little bit disappointing. I sort of thought
he's been a bit flat the last 2 weeks. And look, I'd possibly look at maybe giving him limited minutes against the Titans, depending on the game.
I agree.
And where it's going next week. If we've got a bit of a lead, give him a bit of an early break, and because. Look, I want to talk about our use of the bench. We use 16 players. So there were players that missed out on playing Cup, but I more want to point out what to do with Jai Gray next, because I'm going to say this. He needs to play next week, no matter what. He needs to play. It's either got to be in first grade or Cup. He can't have another week sitting on the bench with finals footy just around the corner. He needs game time. Yeah. And I don't think they're going to drop Matt Dufty because he was still dangerous.
I agree.
But Jai Gray, because this is our last week of Cup next week, and it's the last opportunity to have him to play game time if you're going to use him in that role on the bench just in case, especially with Brandon Smith and Pete Namazelis. Pete Namazelis needs to come on.
Yeah,
because Cheese is an 80-minute hooker. So
Look, I think he'll be playing Cup next week. I'll be playing him in Cup, especially with Latrell back. They might bring him off the bench maybe, and he could be in that 14 jersey instead of Jai Gray. So I agree with you. It's an unfortunate situation with Jai, but yeah, I think he needs to play Cup next week. I can't see him being on the bench again, in my opinion.
Yeah, there was a decent crowd. It was just under 20,000. There was a lot
really
of parochial Warriors fans in that corner. That's probably the most away fans I've seen at one of our games, but it was a good crowd. And I want to give a shout out to a few of your mates. I caught up with them after the game. They come up and said hello, and obviously we spoke about Cole the other day. I seen him on the big screen. He was getting his head on TV a few times there.
Oh, he was up and about for sure. He was well and truly enjoying it, and I guess that's why it hurts a little bit for me too. Just got to swallow my pride. My mate's got one over me, which that happens.
As I said, he was humbled. He was very humbled.
Oh,
and
he is so humble, and look, I'm the same. Like we love a bit of banter, but when we play each other, one of us is always going to be a bit upset and really feeling it. So yeah, we never sort of rub it in or anything like that. And Cole hasn't been anything like that again. So he's all class as well. So got to congratulate him on the win.
Again, his partner Sophie, again, seen her again. So shout out to you, Sophie, and another one of your mates, Aaron. So
yeah. So Cole and Aaron have been two of my best mates for a long, long time. Obviously, they used to both live here. Cole moved over in 2024, and Aaron's just moved over this year. Actually, when Amber, my partner, and I flew over for our trip this year, Aaron moved over to Aussie on the same day, so that was quite funny. But Sophie's got right into it. Obviously, with Cole, it'd be a bit hard not to. Same as Amber with me getting into the Rabbitohs. But yeah, Aaron's just sort of starting to get into it now as well, and obviously that's partly down to Cole too. But yeah, he was there last night cheering on the Warriors with his Warriors jersey. So look, a special night for them, and I'm stoked that they came up to the members bar and had a big catch up with you guys as well. That's really awesome. So look, it's a bit bittersweet. Like obviously I would have loved to get one over them, but at the end of the day, like as a friend, I'm really glad that they had a great night and they enjoyed their night. So
it's good.
Shout out to you, Cole, Sophie, and Aaron. Yeah, I mean, love you heaps, and yeah, it's just great to see you enjoying yourselves at our expense. Which sucks, but,
they were all very humble, and we were having a good chat about the game and just about life in general and that. So they're saying that their next step is to get you and Amber over here in Oz.
Yeah. Well, that might happen in the future. We're having some conversations, so you never know. Watch the space.
Yeah. I just want to, but the Warriors fans, it's just a great ride from them, isn't it? Like getting out the games, making a lot of noise.
It's pretty impressive, to be honest. Look, as a Kiwi, being a South fan, it is a little bit bittersweet to see it, but you've got to take your hat off to them. I mean, they are probably some of the most passionate supporters in the game at the moment, certainly the loudest. I mean, you could hear you guys on the TV as well, but you could hear them, at an away game as well, getting behind their team. So,
well, one thing I love about that corner where the away supporters are, when we're the away supporters, the echo that comes from there is massive. It's the best part of the stadium to be as a fan, to make noise, but they're doing it and there's a groundswell of support there for the Warriors now, and as I said the other day, it's the in thing to be for a Kiwi right now, isn't it?
Oh, it definitely is.
It's trendy.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of their supporter base are kind of just jumped on the bandwagon, but there's still thousands and thousands of hearty fans that have been there for years. They've been through, their club being shit for so long, and finally they've come good and they're a real powerhouse and they're enjoying it. Rightly so. I mean, I honestly think, to be honest with you, man, I genuinely think that the Warriors can win the comp this year, and I don't know, I just have a feeling that they might just do it, to be honest.
Yeah, well, right
if
now,
we can't do it, I have a feeling that they might be the ones.
Well, when you consider, right now, if you're looking at it, you'd think it'd be the Roosters, Panthers, and Warriors. And if you're a South fan, the team you want more out of those three than anything is, if it's not us, you want it to be the Warriors.
Yeah. I don't know. I've got such mixed feelings. Just as a Kiwi over here, it's it's a hard one for me, man. Like again, I always say to Cole, like as my best mate, like I'd love you to have the experience of your team winning the comp, but would just be so bittersweet. So, look, I guess it's yeah, 3 bad situations for me, really, bit of a nightmare. But we've got to get in there and disrupt it ourselves in the big games to come.
Well, just before, I'm going to speak just after this about the what next, what we got to do next, and all that. But I just want to quickly go on the pathways and. Did you say have the women's go? I didn't get to see the result.
Yeah,
of the women's.
they won. Obviously, I didn't see any of that game, but they had a pretty dominant win, I think. So, yeah, awesome for those girls.
They're flying the flag for us, aren't they?
Oh, they're absolutely flying, the women's team.
Yeah, but of course the we played the New South Wales Cup, and also we played Jersey Flag at Redfern Oval yesterday, and the New South Wales Cup, they were up 12-0 early, but then end up getting trampled 38-12.
Yeah, a lot of poor stuff going on in that side again, just some individual areas and stuff like that.
Well, I know a couple of players went in the game with injuries already, and further injuries there, but and that's the thing that we don't understand what the players are going through, and just to get out in the field. But we also Jonah Glover, he didn't play. He picked up an injury. He had a hairline. I don't know where it was, but he had a hairline fracture somewhere that he was ruled out. And they brought up Matt Humphries from Flag, and I thought that was the wrong move. I would have liked to see him just play in Flag, because we're about to play finals football. Get us in, well, hopefully, because we've still got to beat the West Tigers. Win that game against the West Tigers. And get into the finals, and that's where you need him right now, because playing in a cup side that's not doing anything, I don't think is beneficial for his development.
Yeah, I agree. And you had, I believe, Fotu Mawala was playing in the halves with Jersey Flag, right? And they Dwayne Lyons playing fullback. So yeah. I mean, both good players in their own right, but if Maddie Humphrey was playing in the halves, you could have Fotu Mawala at fullback, where he's probably better, and Dwayne Lyons out on the wing, where that's his best position from what I've seen. So yeah, I agree with you there. But that's a big win for the Jersey Flag side, isn't it?
We didn't say the score, but yeah, it was bit kind of nerve-wracking there, because the lead changed several times, and then even at the end, we got a 8-point lead, and the Warriors put a short kick off, and they scored with 2 minutes to go to bring it within 2. And it's funny, we haven't been used to saying this, but goal kicking was the difference in that game. So the score was
Dane Jennings nailed them.
40 points to 38. We had a hidden gem there, and we didn't even know it. But Dane Jennings, 6 from 7, and had quite a few from the sideline. Only missed one from the sideline, but he also had a blinder of a game as well.
Yeah, great return. Great to see him come back and play well straight away. So yeah, good win for the. I mean, obviously, it was tight there, but just a big win in the context of their season, because now it all comes down to that game against the Tigers to see who makes finals in that comp. So
they need to win that, and look, Dean Tower is also ruled out, so hopefully he's back next week, and put Maddie Humphries back there, and then all of a sudden you've got your best side on. And to play finals football, that'll be great for them. And I can't see Dane coming up now. I don't think.
Yeah,
I think he's still struggling with that injury.
Not unless there's other injuries, and we have a catastrophic injury toll in our outside backs. But especially for the trail back, he'll probably see out the year in Fleet. But that's all good,
But what now? The scenario: Bulldogs smashed the Dragons. But we've still got a clear gap on them with our points differential. They'll need to win 2 of their games, and we'd need to lose 2 of our games for them to overtake us.
Yep. Wow.
Now
it's. Sorry, I was just going to say it's pretty simple, really. We got to beat the Titans next week for sure. That's a must win.
That's a simple scenario.
Yep, that's what it all comes down to, really. You got to beat them, and with the Knights losing yesterday, I mean, Roosters are going to be really tough to beat, but the home final is still in the equation with them losing. So
they've got the Warriors.
Yeah.
So I think the Warriors do a job on them, and if the Warriors do a job on them, because they're fighting, they're top of the ladder right now. The Roosters obviously have the game in hand against the Tigers, and you expect them to win. But right now, they're coming first. And that field goal at the end was the difference
Yeah,
in points differential between them and the Panthers.
Yeah.
So we could see, it could all come down to last week. And there could be a chance that we could ruin the Roosters having not only minor premiership, but a home final in week 1.
That would be nice, eh? It could all be to play for in that last round once again. But yeah, look, I think we just got to take our learnings from last night, but still, move on. We just got to get our defence in order somehow. Whatever we did to channel that to have that kind of performance in the Dogs game, we've got to do that now going forward. And look, it's not all doom and gloom. I'm really disappointed with last night, but it did still show that we can go blow for blow with the top side, and that's got to give you some confidence, especially with like Latrell and Jamie coming back. So, look, I still think we can do some damage in the finals, and anything can happen if we can just sort our defence out.
Okay, what do you do with Jamie?
Straight into halfback, in my opinion. He's got to come straight into halfback. And look, if Trell's not quite good to goal kick, Jamie's goal kicking for me as well. So are you
Latrell was goal kicking at training the other day, so
so he might be right. Yeah. But yeah, straight into halfback for me.
There's no guarantee that Trell plays.
Yeah.
You've got to remember that. We've got to be prepared for that. But I expect them to name him again.
Yeah, for sure.
Waiting to name him again, and we'll go from there. But I think that about wraps it up. But yeah, the Titans is a must-win game, and we'll be back. We'll be back during the week to preview that game. Quite a few going up for the game there. So if you are going to get a ticket and want to be with us, make sure you do get the away supporters bay in base 17, I believe. So, and there is a big contingent of South Sydney fans that head up there every year, or that live up and around the area up there in the southeast Queensland area, and they all come to the game. So it's great. We make a lot of noise there. Get behind the boys, and I've had Titans fans say to us that they hate playing us because of the noise that we make.
Yeah, it's going to be like another home game for South, isn't it? So yeah, I'm really looking forward to next week. Can't wait to get stuck into it, get prepping for it, and looking forward to the preview next week. Now, whenever lost like this, I just kind of want to move on as quickly as I can and start looking forward to the next week.
Anything before we go?
That's about it. But just if there's any Warriors fans listening, I mean, congrats on your win, as much as it is as hard as it is for me to say that. But yeah, congrats on your win, and I guess you never know, we might see you in a bigger, more important game. So I wouldn't be chirping too much just yet. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, guys, if you were subscribed to our Spotify, there is a new Spotify, and I'll put the link all over social media. We're now also on Apple Podcasts as well. I don't know what happened to the previous Spotify. It deleted all the previous episodes that we did, but everything's still here on YouTube anyway. But it is what it is. But
weird, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it was my fault. I stuffed up somewhere, so I'll take responsibility for that. But it's all good. The new Spotify's already up with the previous 2 episodes. But make sure you do like, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. It wasn't the result we want, but we still live to fight another day. A win next week against the Titans. We're secured for playing finals football. Who we play is still up in the air. Can we still have a home semi-final? Who knows? But for now, I'm Kempy, joined by C Mack. Go the Rabbitohs.
Go the Bunnies.